Maybe he's going to try and help Kevin Warren build the Lakefront Stadium. Is that true, Big Cat?
No, still a Wisconsin quarterback. Listen, Kevin Warren, I've told you, Kevin Warren has to apologize to me, and then maybe we can talk.
How's that fundraising going for the Wisconsin Quarterback Fund?
Had a big-time meeting today. Thanks for asking, Tommy.
Yeah. So everything is pointing in the right direction?
I had to tell someone in the office, hey, can you do a PowerPoint for me? I'm that guy now. Where I'm like, hey, I don't know how to do this, but you got to put all my thoughts into some kind of shiny slideshow that can some put in front of someone and it works.
Wait, so you had a meeting with just the PowerPoint guy today, or did you have a meeting with somebody?
No, the PowerPoint guy.
I had a meeting with the important people at the Wisconsin football program, and then I took that meeting and I went and I said to someone in my office, hey, I need a PowerPoint.
You guys just hung 52 on the Boilermakers. You really think you need to spend a ton of money on a quarterback still?
We never lose to Purdue. If Wisconsin loses to Purdue, I'll just deactivate all my accounts. You'll never hear from me again. I'm going to move to San Diego.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick because I went with the family on Saturday apple picking, and I had no communication with the outside world. We went to the pumpkin patch, and the next thing I know, it was the most chaotic college football day ever. But you were the one who told me the football games that week were crap and that I should just ignore it.
Good family time for you.
And the next thing I knew, it was like one of the best college football weekends on the calendar.
Well, yeah, it's metaphorical. What are you talking about? You're not actually apple picking.
I did.
I watched every game. I know.
You got to know it. We drank some cider. We went on one of those tractors. Well,
here's the thing. Here's the thing too. You could have planned it out because it was. So I didn't watch the first half of the first game. That's apple picking weekend.
That's your apple picking weekend. The first half of the first game.
When is it leaf peeping season?
Oh, it's starting.
Yeah, it is starting. But yeah, you made a mistake. You got to learn. When I say apple picking weekend, it means hey, you can go and maybe get home from your activity at 12:30, 1 o'clock.
So that's a figurative term. You didn't really mean to go apple picking?
No, I've never been apple picking in my life.
Damn.
Why don't you just go to the local grocery store and buy a bag of apples?
Great point.
Especially during football season. Right.
You don't even have to get off your couch.
Right.
They never pick the good apples, though. There are a few that are dented. Yes. Haven't you done this before?
At the grocery store?
No, with Uber Eats, or what's the other service where they bring your groceries?
You had Uber Eats deliver apples?
Or there's another service where they deliver your groceries.
Instacart, Peapod.
Instacart, that's it. Instacart, and they'll bring you the worst.
Because your apples are rolling around in the back seat of their vehicles and they're bruising each other.
So no more of that.
I don't even know what a bad apple is. I mean, I guess I am one,
yeah,
but
I was gonna say you.
Yeah.
What is it? Well, I can't pick. Whenever I'm tasked, it's maybe once every 3 months I'm tasked with going to the grocery store, and I screw up so many things that I'm not asked for another 3 months, and that's one of them where I'll just grab, we need apples, we need oranges, and then I'll come back and my wife will be like, why did you take this? This is spoiled or something. I don't know. Or too hard.
Okay.
I don't know.
So this is not a strength of yours. What would you say is your greatest domestic strength?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, taking out the trash before I'm asked.
Before you're asked?
Before I'm asked. That's a very important piece of it because anyone can take out the trash when they're asked. I do it right before I'm asked, which always gets a little extra,
So you don't care if the trash is overflowing. You need to be asked normally to take out the overflowing
No, he
trash.
just told you he's got a sixth sense where he knows.
Listen, when I was in college, we had two huge trash cans with no even trash liner. We would just throw trash in there.
Oh, disgusting.
So gross. And I wish I still had that because you'd have to take out the trash once every 2 weeks.
Do you do laundry?
I do not.
Could you if you had to?
Yes, but I screw that up too. So probably, yeah, I could. I think. Yes, I could do laundry.
Do you cook?
I do everything else. I change diapers. I do all that stuff.
Cook?
We're doing potty training right now. No, I don't cook. Mac and cheese, maybe. That's it. Let's see. Oh, listen. What are you guys? What am I getting investigated right now?
No, I mean, you're getting defensive, is what you're getting. We're just asking questions about what your domestic strengths are.
Here's my domestic strengths. Whenever my domestic strengths come in, yeah, exactly. Look at the bank account. That's the domestic strength. There it is.
That's the most important one.
Right. I can't do anything handy, but I can pay for someone to do it.
That's awesome. That is great.
That's good. I love it.
So the what do you think now about the way the Bears are playing in London? Caleb Williams just keeps getting better. Now you don't have to put up the fake front about things are great in Bears land. Now things are getting better.
No, I was never putting up a fake front. I was going to reverse it on you. Are you now believing in Caleb Williams after they showed you, Mr. Tough Guy?
I've always believed in Caleb. I didn't believe in the team. And
the team looks great. Listen, I know, like, I'm sure you guys heard it a million times on Sunday and all week. Oh, it's the Panthers. Good teams destroy bad teams in the NFL. That's what they're supposed to do. The NFL is a tough league. You saw the Cardinals went into San Francisco. They're 7.5-point dogs. They win that game outright. Like, this is everyone. No one is as good or as bad as you think in the NFL. So in that type of game, when you can step on a team's throat and play like they did, you should get credit for that. It's not like they won a squeaker against the Panthers and they struggled, and that was an absolute laugher that, like, they took their foot off the gas in the second half. That was probably my only criticism, is I would have liked them to keep airing it out and try to put up 50.
Yeah, totally agree with you on both fronts. I love the way they handled business. On what level are both of you guys putting this game as far as, I don't know if I'm necessarily calling it a must win, but I'm calling it
it's a must win.
Okay,
no, it's a must win.
Because I was calling it a pivotal game. Like you can continue to tinker around 500 or
must win for what? Or we're talking about postseason.
If you want to do something, if you want to do something,
must win. Yeah, no. Last week was a must win. This week is a must win, and that's all in the frame of mind of postseason.
Yeah,
because you have to win these games that you are better than the other team, because we're going to have a bunch of games where we're not better than the other team, and you're going to try to find a way to win a few of those. So, yeah, I think this is a must-win. They're better than the Jaguars. The Jaguars' offense got a good, a get-right game, because Gus Bradley runs the same defense for the last decade, and he's got, worms in his brain. This is a game where the Bears' defense should make everything difficult for the Jaguars' offense. And on the other side, I think Caleb will have a good game. So it's a must-win.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of these games. If you are going to be a good team, you've got to beat the Jags. I mean, that's step one, is beating the teams you're supposed to beat. And this is a Jaguar defense. I think the Panthers defense, while not ranked as bad as the Jags, is worse than the Jags defense. But this Jags defense is not very good. So they need to make a statement again to themselves that, hey, what we're doing on offense is working and we're pointing in the right direction. And they should have a big day. The Jags are giving up 288 passing yards per game. They have 0 interceptions this year on their defense. Yeah. So you look at the Jags and you just say to yourself offensively, we need to put up a big number against this team. So
yeah, Joe Flacco's running for 21-yard scramble against them. Yeah. Like, this is, and I love Joe Flacco, but he was carving them up. And I agree. Like, you can't, I know it sounds crazy to say a game against the Jaguars must win, but again, it's about the totality of this season. And we talked about it last week. This stretch here, you have to go 4-1. And if you lose this one, then you got to beat a very good Commanders team, and you got to go to Arizona, and they're frisky. So I think they'll beat the Patriots. That feels like a game that, like, the Bears can almost sleepwalk, but the other two games are not. They're not going to be as easy as what this Panthers and Jaguars stretch is.
I would say this, though. Don't sleep on this Jaguar team, because they can score.
I'm sleeping on them. I'm sleeping on them.
Don't sleep on them.
I did.
I don't want you to be disappointed if the unthinkable happens.
Oh, I will.
Like there was no way that the Panthers were beating the Bears here at Soldier Field. You can't say I can't say that.
Well, the
about
difference
this
in the
game.
point spread is what? So it was 4 for Carolina. It's what, 1.5 here?
Something
Or
like
two?
that.
2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
It's only a
But
point
there's
and a
a home
half
game.
different. Yeah.
We're the home team.
Yeah.
We are. Technically on the schedule, we're the home team against the Jags.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, this Jags team is a better team than the Panthers across the board. Now, it doesn't mean that the Bears aren't a better team than the Jags, but this opponent is going to challenge you more than the previous opponent.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes.
But I'm what I was saying is the Carolina game where all the gamblers were talking about, and they know that we always say Vegas knows, they did a 4-point game.
Yeah, but like as you heard, the sharp money came in on the Bears throughout. Like the Bears were a huge pick
I know,
for the sharp money in Vegas.
They were one of my best plays.
Well, because you're a sharp. You're a Vegas sharp.
You are a sharp.
You're
sharp.
You're a Vegas sharp.
Yeah. How much Jaguar football have you guys watched?
I've watched a good bit of their film. They were garbage early. They actually played better against the Texans, and offensively, they can. They've got some talent. They've got some talent inside that offensive huddle. Their defense is garbage.
Okay.
It's garbage.
The defense is garbage. I think Trevor Lawrence is a little lost. I would say, I guess if you want me to be like, I'm scared, I do think our defense is great. The one thing that's happened in a few games here is the run defense has not been, incredible. Like, the Panthers had that long touchdown run. We've seen it in second halves a little bit where a team can lean on us a little. So that would be a little bit of a concern with ETN and Tank Bigsby.
That's all I'm saying.
I still think this is a must win, and they're going to win. They're going to win.
Just saying.
And it will ruin my Sunday. I don't care what you say.
I'm not trying to ruin your Sunday.
Especially
it's
a morning game. That really
just
sets
telling
the
you,
table.
I think this one will be a little stiffer competition. They'll win, but they won't win 36-10 is all I'm saying.
Playing the London game is like playing like the first Thursday game of the tournament, like that noon tip off. If your team plays in that window and you win, and then you get the next 2 days to just sit there and relax and enjoy basketball, that's what this is. You got to win this game so we can enjoy the rest of the Sunday and not have to be thinking, I can't believe we lost to the Jaguars.
I got to pick my wife up at the airport later in the day on Sunday.
Well, this is a good week to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Whoa. Time out. Uber doesn't exist?
This is what I've said to him too, Big Cat.
Well, because you guys are men. Like I guess I'm not. That I would actually get in the car and pick up my wife at the airport. It's a 20-minute drive.
It's not a 20-minute drive for you anymore.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on.
25 minutes.
Hold on. I've had this debate before because I also think I had this debate on Twitter and a bunch of people came at me, but I also figured out that it was a bunch of people who if you live in a smaller town, I understand it because then it's like no traffic, you go, whatever, that's fine. Why would you make your day worse because your wife is flying? Like, that's a conversation I have with my wife. Be like, hey, your day's going to suck because you're going to be on a plane. Don't make my day suck,
it's
too.
An hour out of the day. Would you do it for one of your children?
No, Uber. Why? It's a team game. Just because why is she affecting what you're doing? Like, this is, you gotta have someone have a good day. You don't have to have everyone bring everyone down.
Yeah, Uber Black Car too. Like, you can do it upscale. You don't have to get just the Uber X.
I don't think
She'd
the
probably
vehicle that
appreciate
she's
that
riding
more.
in is actually part of the equation. It's
I hate
she's
that you're doing this.
She's going home for her high school reunion.
Makes us all look bad.
Flying back. Well, that's a you issue. That's not a me issue.
Uber Black. She can get an Uber Black. And then guess what? You save a little conversation.
How about just go pick her up?
You
What do you
save a
got
little
to do other than
conversation.
sit on your ass and watch another football game?
Yes.
Yeah, that. But you can also save your conversation for home. Like, you're going to burn your whole conversation.
Pick her up and maybe we go to lunch afterwards on the way back.
Oh, now it's all lunch. Okay, you're out.
You come home from the games and take your sons to dinner.
Okay, well, that's
What's
different.
the difference?
Much different.
How? I'm taking
Completely
my wife to dinner.
different. So
I don't come home on Sunday.
So what? What's the difference? A late lunch or a dinner? What's the difference?
You guys don't watch enough football.
I actually will take my phone.
I was apple picking.
I'll watch my football on my phone while we're having dinner.
Yeah, what about driving? That's not safe.
Who cares?
Oh, okay.
Now he's making us all look bad, and he's making the roads unsafe.
No, my wife drives, and I sit in the passenger seat and watch football.
Wow, your wife is driving
Yes.
too? Oh my God.
You make her drive after you pick
No,
her up.
It's over. It's over. I'm never gonna look at you the same.
Oh, geez.
Never.
33 years of marriage, man. What do you do?
All right, here. If you're my,
She's been driving the whole time?
No, I'm joking. Of course she's not
Okay,
going to
good.
drive.
All right, we're back.
I'm going to watch the game while distracted, while driving fast up the highway to get home just in time to watch the second half of the afternoon game.
here's another. You make the call. If you're Mike Tomlin, is it Russ or is it Justin Fields this week?
Russ, by the way, full go today at practice. First time all year.
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, that was tough because it was like we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I really do believe I'm rooting for Justin Fields. There's not a bad feeling in my body about Justin Fields. I want him to be successful, but what we know about him as a quarterback, there are limitations, and I do think you might have to make the change. I don't know. I mean, it's just that game wasn't all
Get
on
off
him.
the
That
fence
was
and
also
pick a quarterback.
that was all right. Fine, I'm sticking with Justin Fields.
Okay,
Me
good.
too.
There you go.
Do you think there's
Russell Wilson stinks.
But you're going to stick. Why are you sticking with Justin? Because
there's a chance that there's a small chance he could be the solution. Russell is not a solution.
well, wait a second.
Correct.
After how many games have you seen? You're still holding on to hope that
5 games, 4 games.
and
It's
how
been,
many games
what's it
here
been?
in Chicago that
Well,
he's
yeah,
the solution.
Well, but you're hoping this. Look, you know how I feel about him. Is there any chance that Pittsburgh may pull him quicker because they don't want to give the Bears a 4th? And they know that that's there. So they're like, look, we're not getting enough out of him to play him more than 50%. We might as well check for Russ. So that way, if we're going to get the same, we might as well give up a 6th-round pick instead of a 4th-round pick.
Maybe. I just know that on Sunday night, it was one of those illuminating moments where you're like, oh no, that's what I look like. Cause I was seeing Steelers fans being like, the offensive line was bad. The wide receivers weren't getting open. And I was just like, oh no, that's me. That was me. I was that guy. So
you guys are going back to Star Wars thinking that the ending's going to be different. You've seen this movie 100 times. 100 times you've seen it.
Good. But here's the thing.
I know he's not good, Big Cat, but when was the last time Justin Fields threw 26 touchdowns passes in a season? You know when the last time Russ did it? Last year.
I understand, but here's the thing.
When was the last time Justin threw for 3,000 yards in a season, Big Cat?
Never.
The last time Russell did it was last year with the Denver Broncos. Like,
did you watch though? But that you didn't watch the games. You were doing.
I was picking up my wife at the car. In the car. Yeah.
He was. Those are fake stats. Like if you watch the game, the guy has so many limitations now, and he was a great quarterback for a long time. But I do understand the feeling of like
It's kind of like Justin's stats this year. Justin's stats are not bad on paper, but they're sort of empty stats.
You're going to score. You know what you're going to get if you start Justin again. And I'm not Justin hating in the slightest. You're going to get 18, 19 points. That's what you're going to get because that's what history tells you you're going to get. I don't know what you're going to get with Russ. Maybe you're going to get 15 points. But if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm going to open up the door and see what's there. And maybe I can go back to Justin when I find out that Russ is cooked. See how I did that?
He is cooked. He is cooked. He is cooked.
But at the very least, I would give it a look. What do you have to lose? You're only going to score 19. You've lost the last 2. You're going to score 19 points.
Yeah, I do think like that. Oh, man. I just want him to be good. It's crazy that I'm rooting for him this way.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy. He's a likable kid. You don't want him to do poorly.
No, and he's just not. He's not good.
No. Did you text Aaron Rodgers?
I did not. I mean, he's a coach killer, so I don't want to get involved with that.
Who's more of a coach killer, Aaron Rodgers? It's not even close, is it? Aaron Rodgers versus LeBron. LeBron is 10 times the coach killer than Aaron Rodgers.
LeBron is like Jeffrey Dahmer of coach killers. He's just I mean,
killing them and eating
every
them.
guy. Yeah, they look at him wrong and they're gone. Like, so yeah, that's not even close. This is only 2 for Aaron. He's technically we said it on PMT. He's technically a serial killer now. But yeah, the Aaron Rodgers stuff. That's we rooted for so long for him to just like tear down a franchise, and he's doing it in New York. He couldn't do it in Green Bay.
The wrong franchise, right?
Stinks. It stinks.
Are you hopeful that Jordan Love is not going to be very good this year?
I think we're off to a good start with that.
He's good. That pick 6 was so funny though. Oh my God, was that so much fun? I was laughing so hard when that happened.
It was Will Levis.
But he's good.
It was a Will Levis pick.
It was. That's a good way to describe it. It was a Will Levis pick.
Yeah.
Hey,
it was that he's good. He's good. It stinks that he's good, but he's good.
Are you enjoying these baseball playoffs?
I am, very much so. They're incredible. Every game, that Mets Phillies game on Sunday was like an all-time game, and they're just I have a future on the Padres, so I'm rooting for them. They're hitting home runs left and right. But yeah, it's been so much fun.
Does it make you crave Cubs postseason baseball, or at least miss what we used to go through? You know, it's one thing to root for a team because you got a ticket on them. It's another thing to root for a team and sweat out these games when you have so much love because of your fandom in it.
Yeah, no, it's not even the playoff baseball. It's just like the weather changing. Like the weather changes, and I'm like, man, I wish I was going to Wrigley right now. And then I had a flashback that I think it was yesterday's game, or when did the Phillies? Yeah, they played yesterday. They had like a couple shots of the sunset, and I was just like, remember that Cardinals series in 2015, I want to say, where we played all like 3:00 games.
Yep.
And that one hit me right in the feels. So yeah, it stinks. I want to be involved. There's nothing like playoff baseball. It's so like every pitch is so crazy, and you're just sitting there, and anything can happen, and it's the best.
Are you appreciating what the Mets are doing, or do you hate the Mets so much that you aren't appreciating what they're doing?
So I'm in a tough spot in this one. I don't hate the Mets. So my producer Max is a big Phillies guy. I want the Phillies to win this series because I want to torture him some more. So that part I'm kind of rooting for the Phillies. But we also have just an absolute like mutant show of Mets fans at Barstool that are doing these live streams, and they are like it. You couldn't find these people anywhere else on earth. Like they can't go out in public, but they're Mets fans and they're crazy and they're ours. So I'm like, if the Mets win this series, I think I'm just gonna be rooting for the Mets because I do want them to be happy, and they're good guys. So it's wild watching them. I can't even explain it. It's basically the zoo. We just have a zoo in our office, and it's just Mets fans.
We have a ticket, obviously, on the Padres here at the station, and Carmen is afraid of the Mets. He does not want to face the Mets.
Yeah, they're a team of destiny. Yeah. It feels like they are getting every big hit, every big out. Guys are stepping up. They feel that team of destiny, and that is playoff baseball. Like if you have the thing rolling, and that's I think the craziest part about it is they're kind of like the Phillies from a few years ago. Remember when the Phillies went to the World Series, and it's like everyone was hitting big home runs, and it was just all these big moments. The Mets have kind of stole their magic, and they are the new Phillies.
Right, like the Diamondbacks were last year. Always, like it seems like in this new format, one team gets very, very hot.
Right.
Yeah. So before we let you go, do you have the channel to get Bulls and Hawks games?
I watched the Hawks last night on ESPN. I don't know if I have the channel. What would I have to have the channel?
I think as of now, it's Direct TV, and there's a couple of smaller things. But like Xfinity doesn't have it, and YouTube doesn't have it.
Just need an antenna you plug into your TV. Right?
Yeah, or
this is my plan for this. Okay, I'm a big believer in that. Hockey and basketball don't start till Christmas. I'm gonna move that up a little, and I'm gonna say if Thanksgiving they don't resolve this, I'm gonna go on a warpath. So I don't know who's listening right now who works at these stations and can figure this out. I'm giving you basically a month where I'm not gonna say anything, and I'm just gonna be like, it's fine. I'll pretend that it's not happening. But if I try to turn on a Bulls or Hawks game in middle November and I can't, I'm going to go. I'm basically not going to sleep. I'm just going to harass whoever is responsible.
What do you have?
So that's it. Those are my demands.
What do you have?
What do you mean?
Well, like what carrier do you have? Yeah.
Oh, I have Xfinity and YouTube TV.
Okay, so you have both. I am like we were told, and I think Carmen heard the same thing, that maybe by there's a lot of growing optimism that something will be done the day of the Hawks, the game on Friday. Yeah, is that Friday?
Okay,
or
that's fine.
Or this Friday.
Listen,
the first.
I
Hawks
made my
broadcast.
demands. I'm just telling the people in charge, like they basically have a sleeping giant who is going to stay asleep for another month. But if I have to wake up, I will not do anything but harass.
Can I ask you a question? I'm not good at this. Why would you have Xfinity and YouTube TV for the quad box for games?
No, I don't know.
Just because
I don't know.
Listen, I still have AOL, so I'm the wrong guy to ask. But I'm just wondered if there was a technical advantage by having both.
No, there's no technical advantage. It probably cost me a lot of money. There was a bowl game, Sam Darnold, USC versus Ohio State in 2018, I want to say 2017. And my friend had streaming, and it would just cut out every 20 seconds. And from that moment on, I'm like, I will never put myself in a spot where a stream can go down on me and I can't watch a game.
That sounded weird. That sounded really weird, but I know what you meant.
You never want to have a stream go down on you.
Yeah.
No, I don't want a stream going down on me, and I won't let that happen. So I have, it's basically my version of an apocalypse bunker for TV.
I love that.
I love it.
That's great. Great stuff. All right, enjoy.
All right, boys. All right, see you guys.
All right, there you go. That was a good session with Big Cat. And he busted your chops too about those airport runs.
Yeah, I don't know why that.
Look, you do you.
Yes,
you do
exactly.
what you want, but I don't know. It sure seems like you're out on the golf course and you don't give a crap about the family many, many times a week. And now all of a sudden, you're Mr. Superman picking people up at the airport. Someone has a baby and you're all
honor.
You're all on the golf course.
If I said to my wife, "Hey, can you pick me up at the airport?" and she said, "No, I got something to do," then I'd take an Uber. But if I got nothing to do, and I'm not doing anything, I go pick her up. That's what we do for family members. That's just our, we're funny like that. Our family's funny like that.
Funny like that.
Yeah,
That's a good.
That's how we're just wired weird.